As is custom to the show, we also take a look at some of the top stories that we can expect on the various fronts on the diary. For this next conversation, we're going to be joined by political news editor at SABC, Mzwandile Mbeje. He has rushed all the way from Mpumalanga province, made it back in time safely. And so on that note, good afternoon, Mzwa, and thank you for your time. I know it's been very busy for you, to say the least.
Yes.
Obviously, we know what's coming as we edge closer to 7 p.m. tonight. There is that inevitable address by the president. But if we're looking at, what's transpired, the expectations as well, walk us through what the significance of this is, but what is it all going to entail?
Well, obviously, exactly a week now, Lizelle, since General Mkhwana's made those allegations. Of course, the president was out of the country, so he needed to come back and act. Remember, the president is not necessarily going to be swayed by perhaps the noise given what has happened. So he has to follow processes because at the end of the day, he is the president. So the responsibility is to act responsibly. So I think given what South Africans want and perhaps the events that have taken place, the president is likely to set up some sort of a structure, whether it's the Judicial Commission of Inquiry, to look into these allegations. But also there are actors involved there, particularly, I think, the Minister of Police. I think given the sensitivity and perhaps the noise around what has been happening, he, in all likelihood, would ask perhaps to take some sort of leave, so he's able to perhaps even focus, because if there's a Judicial Commission of Inquiry, you do need to prepare, and there'll be a lot more people who will then be, obviously, be interviewed in this process. So the president has made up his mind, so we expect him to make that announcement at 7. Yeah,
there's lots of possibilities and considerations in relation to these allegations, and so we're obviously going to hear from our president what emerges there. But even if we look at, the cabinet itself, there's a lot at stake here. We're looking at, the possibilities of a reshuffle of cabinet. Is that an opportune way to address this, to also restore public confidence at large? But even just the ANC itself, the NEC?
Perhaps what the president can do, if one just looks at the possibilities, if, let's say, the minister requests to be shifted, obviously that's a key portfolio, so someone must step in. Perhaps he can use this opportunity to then make those changes. Because he will probably see the opportunity to say, oh, well, maybe there are certain aspects I need to strengthen here and there. Maybe let me make some minor changes. I don't think if it were to happen, it will be a wholesale cabinet change. But of course, the president has the prerogative to do that. But also, Lizelle, there are issues around the GNU, which have been happening for quite some time. The ANC is meeting in its NEC next week. The GNU issue is part of what is happening. So if, let's say, the president were to want to do a wholesale cabinet reshuffle, I'm sure he may want to get the wisdom of his party, and then perhaps is better informed in terms of making the decision. Not that he will be told by the party, but it helps because he's not a president who is directly elected. So he serves because the party put him there. So those are all aspects that we are looking at. But of course, 7 o'clock is not far, so we'll know all about it.
Yeah, well, Mzwa, thank you for your time at this hour. I know you've got lots to do. Thank you for weighing in on those important issues, of course, that we can expect for now on the diary. Of course, we continue to monitor developments as it unfolds. Mzwandile Mbeje, the SABC News political editor, joining us to just highlight what is happening on the diary front in relation to politics for the country.